Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Alya Nanda Muthia. I'm a third semester student from PBIA 2023 English Education Department, Fakultas Tarbiyah dan Keguruan Universitas Islam Negeri Alauddin, Makassar. First of all, let's express our gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the most merciful and compassionate. Secondly, salawat and salam always be delivered to our Prophet Muhammad SAW, who brought us from the darkness to the brightness. The honorable person, our lecturer, Mr. Dr. Kaharuddin, S.IP M.Hum, as a lecturer on morphology and syntax course. Today, I would like to talk about less productive word formation. Less productive word formation refers to the process that rarely used to create words in English, and less productive word formation still exist in English language, for example like coinage, borrowing, back formation, clipping, and etc. Yes, they have both similarities and differences. The similarities between coinage and borrowing is they are introduce new words that we can use in a daily life. For example, Google coinage, and then piano from borrowing. And the difference is coinage refers to the process of word formation that create entirely new word. For example, like band-aid, aspirin, and etc. Borrowing refers to the process of take other words in a language and then adapt it in a language. For example, like piano from Italian, and then bamboo from Indonesian, and then used in English language, bamboo from Indonesian word bambu. Blending refers to the process of forming another word with new meaning by combining two separate words with different meaning. For example, like brunch, breakfast, and lunch. First, blending is usually done by taking the first syllable of the first word and then the last syllable of the last word. For example, like motel, motor, hotel. And then the second is making another word by blending the beginning of the two words. For example, like cyborg, cyber organism. And then the third type is done by taking the whole word of the first word and then the end of the second word. For example, like cheeseburger, blending for cheese hamburger. Clipping in morphology refers to the process of creating another word by taking one or more syllables from multisyllabic word. There are four types of clipping. First, initial clipping. Initial clipping refers to the process of cutting the initial part of a word and use the final part as another form of the word. For example, phone. It is another form of a word telephone. The word is formed after cutting the initial part tele and leave the final part phone. Is another form of the word telephone. Second is medial clipping. Medial clipping. Medial clipping formed by leaving out the medial part of a word and use the initial and the final as the other form of the word. For example, maths. It is formed after leaving out the medial part of the word amateur and leave the initial math and the final part as combined to maths, and is another form of the word mathematics. Third is final clipping. Final clipping is formed by cutting the final part of a word and use the initial as another form of the word. For example, memo. This word is another form of memorandum. The word memo is formed after cutting the final part random. And then the last is complex clipping. Complex clipping is formed using three ways. First, two words are merged, but the final part of the first word is cut. For example, like org man, organization plus man. The second is two words are compounded, but the initial part of the second word is cut. For example, cablegram, cable and telegram. Third is the final part of the first and the second word are left. For example, navigation, navigation and certificate. Back formation is another type of less productive word formation, in which another word is produced by removing the actual suffix of a certain word. For example, like the word edit is a verb which is produced after removing the supposed suffix or of a noun editor. In English, many words made of back formation never get their real legitimacy to be used widely by the native speaker of English. Some are even ignored or even aborted early. However, we may not deny that some still survive and respectably and continuously used in English. Conversion in morphology refers to the process of forming another word by converting or changing the part of speech or class of a word without making a change to the word's form or spelling and pronunciation. There are several types of conversion. First is noun to verb conversion. For example, my mother put the tea in a bottle is noun. My mother bottles the tea is a verb. Second, verb to noun conversion. For example, parents are not allowed to hit their children is a verb. Your dance was a real hit at my birthday party is a noun. Other types of conversion. For example, she's not coming and that's final. It's adjective. I got through to the final last year is a noun. Acronym is another type of word formation which refers to the process of forming another word by taking the first letter of a group source word to frame a concept. For example, NASA in English is considered as a word that is created by an acronym process. This word is made of a combination of the first letter of a group of source words, namely National Aeronautics and Space Administration. This acronym usage exists in English today. Yes, acronyms are widely used in modern English. They have become an essential part of everyday language, especially in technology and communication field. For example, like acronyms like Wi-Fi or wireless fidelity and URL or Uniform Resource Locator are commonly used in English. So, after I analyze the following extract above, I can conclude that this extract have one acronym, AI, which stands for Artificial Intelligence. Okay, I think that's all from me. I sincerely appreciate all of your attention, and if there are any mistakes, I apologize previously. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.